Hey, this is Rocket Brain Surgeon, and today we're talking about the map strategy for Cliff. Survios sent me this strategy, and it's based on using the mobility from your team to cut off key points from the enemy. The strategy is all about controlling the E5 and E6 areas to bottle up the enemy within their base. The heavies generally go to the far east as designated by number 1 path. The number 2 and 3 paths are generally medium paths, and just by controlling the E5 and E6 areas, we can cut off all of those points. A good thing to do in your games is to look up the matchups, and we're not looking for overpowered tank this or that. We can see that on our side we have 2 Cents, a 416, a T69, a Comet, a Panther. There's a lot of fast tanks on our side, so the strategy works really well. You can see Survios' platoon mates are heading very quickly towards the E5 and E6 locations. They're going to be able to set up there before the enemy by using that mobility advantage. Survios is bringing the big guns of the Roomba to bear on that location shortly after. And what we're going to see is we're going to see the enemy just struggle to get out of their base. So if you look at the minimap, you can see that Survios' platoon mates have already encountered and spotted practically the entire enemy team. And now the enemy is faced with a really terrible decision. Either they can continue just to drive in the open and get shot, or they can hunker down, find some cover, and try to fight back. Both decisions are bad, and it's very, very difficult because they just have nowhere to go. Now when Survios gets his Roomba to this location, it's almost a foregone conclusion of how the battle is going to go. It is fish in a barrel right here. The enemy team just does not have any cover. They have a couple rocks to hide behind, but it's nothing compared to what Survios' team has. These guys are hull down. Survios is actually firing while hidden and then quickly moves behind a rock. It's going to be incredibly hard to dig them out. The part which makes this strategy really cool is that it's only a little bit of pressure in a very specific spot. It's like a Vulcan nerve pinch on somebody. There's nothing amazing that's going on here. It's just Survios and his platoon knew where, by applying just a little bit of pressure, the entire team is just going to crumble. What Survios is doing here is a bit of a standard technique among the better players. So he got spotted after he shot there, and he's sitting behind a rock waiting for himself to go off of radar. When he's gone off of radar, he moves back or behind the bush so he can see through the bush, but he's getting the camo bonus. And he's doing that while he's completely unseen, and then he fires and immediately moves back behind cover. By doing this, he's basically creating an invisible sniper role for himself, so the enemy really never sees him. A lot of being a better player is being in the right spot, and the right spot means the spot where you're going to make the most difference that you can. And generally that means shooting a lot. And so you can see that Survios has been firing on almost every reload. He's in the place where not only does he control a lot of firing lanes with his firepower, but he's also able to keep his gun active. So the next time you load into a map, try to find the place on the map where if you apply a little bit of pressure, you can drastically change the outcome of the game. Hope you enjoyed. Happy hunting.